Welcome to the Harlot and the Witch podcast. I'm your co-host, the Harlot,
And I am the witch, the witch, the witch.
and today we are going to be talking about how will Trump's first 100 days hinder our personal New Year's resolutions and goals.
Mm.
So come join us in this safe space. Take what is for you and what is not. Dump it to the streets or share it with your family and friends. So let's get into it. Go ahead, best friend.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to eat my words now because
Eat
this
it,
one right here, oh, it's over there.
eat it,
This
eat
one
it,
right
eat it.
here, I made a prediction that I didn't think
Mhm.
that he was gonna do a lot the first 100 days. Well,
I
he's
said he
done a
would.
lot the first 100 days. He's done a whole
Exactly.
lot, and a lot of people are feeling it. A lot of people, regardless of race, ethnicity, whatever, you're feeling the things that he is doing.
Amen.
So personally, when it comes to my New Year's goals and resolutions, I tell this to so many people because there are a lot of people that are just defeated and like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?
Right.
Now, if you happen to be in the group of people who have family members that are not here legally, I understand why you're shaking and quaking and in fear. Overall, regardless of who's in office, you can't allow it to stop you from reaching your goals, regardless of who you voted for or who you didn't vote for. I think
Mhm.
that whoever is in office is going to put you in a position to make you prioritize what's important for you. And I feel like that's the number one thing that Trump is teaching people. Some
Right.
people have neglected their family these past couple of years. When you see that this man is deporting people's families and splitting things up,
Mm-hmm.
that's harder. That's hard for people. And once again, I'm going to say this a lot, and I know people can agree or disagree, whatever. We spend so much time focusing on all these people at the border, but we do not deal with the domestic violence that happens in the United States, nor the terrorism that happens inside the United States, nor any other crime that happens inside the United States. We're so gung ho to deport this and that one and the third, but we don't even want to correct the people that are here
Mm-hmm.
or create environments that are more safe for people that are here. So I think that when it comes to how his first 100 days are affecting me, I think it's just reminding me that I shouldn't take for granted some of the people that are around me and that I have to remain focused on my goals, dreams, and aspirations.
Right.
Depending on where you are in the United States, some people have said, because they've said in some of the comment section that the price of certain things is going down, but in other areas, people say, no, the price of things is going up.
Right.
So for me, the price of things are kind of sitting around the same. Like this time last year, I would say it's probably about the same. Nothing has really changed that much when it comes to me personally for like the cost of goods and services. Even when I look at the average cost of housing, it hasn't really changed that much around where I am. To me, it's all high, so it hasn't gotten much
Mm-hmm.
higher. Um, but it has not changed my goals, dreams, and aspirations, and I don't necessarily see it affecting any of my personal goals that I have set because a lot of it has to do with internal work and make sure I'm accomplishing the things. The only thing that I can see what he has done that could be a problem is him affecting the DEI hires and the how he's choosing to go about possibly removing all student loans and not removing student loans debt, but removing student loans period. So that it's not even an option. And there are a lot of people that are paid for education through student loans. And
Mm-hmm.
even though I think schools should be free, since it is not during this current time, I see that's something that could affect people who are not able to finish paying for their bachelor's, master's, PhD programs.
Right.
Because a lot of people traditionally will get the loans and then pay it back when they have a career that's making
Right.
a lot
Over time.
more money,
Mm-hmm.
but some people won't have the option to get into those careers because they can't afford the education. And then when it comes to the DEI hires, it it is so interesting seeing people talk in the comment section, which really makes me wonder: do y'all know what DEI really represents? Because it's not
Right.
just Black people, it's not just different races. It has to do with
That's
your
discrimination.
age, your
Information.
disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are so many people that are veterans that are not going to be put in these spaces because there are a lot of jobs that hire
Disability.
people with disabilities
Right.
and put them in certain positions that they can excel out and do well at. But now they're not going to even they're going to be give companies the right to discriminate against these people and not hire them. And they like to say, "Oh, it's only going to be off of merit." But
Yeah.
everybody that hears our voice, y'all know people, regardless of race and ethnicity, that are in jobs that should not be in that job because they do not qualify.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so it's more than just merit based that y'all are hiring people. But how do you feel? How do you feel it's affecting you these first 100 days?
Honestly, in many ways. So overall, my goals for the new year was mainly to stay fit, get more fit, and work on my finances,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to, of course, get myself prepared for a home and a new car.
How's that fit thing going?
So you want to be shady?
I'm just
Hmm?
asking a question for the people.
The
How's the
arms
fit
are looking
thing?
pretty good, as you can see. The rest of it, you
When was the last
know,
time you hit the gym?
last week
So now we lying to the people. We
I
telling
was
lies.
there last Sunday.
Doing what? Telling lies. That's
It
what
was
it is.
arm day. It was arm day. Anyways, um, I'm working on it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think overall, like the price of things, inflation has just not helped so far in the new year for my goals to be achieved. So it's like me having to budget more, me having to spend less, save more, and really like be disciplined. But still, the income ain't coming in as much as the inflation is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a thing where I'm gonna have to find multiple sources of income just to be able to support my regular lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Because and don't say, oh, get a better job. I have a great job. Thank you very much for the people
Mm-hmm.
in the comment section.
Oh,
A great one. I won't matter of fact, yeah, I won't talk about it. But
oh, and let me interject just real quick. Because somebody put in the comments that, oh, the price of eggs is not inflation. Let me read off of y'all the
yes.
definition of inflation.
Mhm.
Inflation is the rate at which prices for goods and services increase over time. So if the
So
cost
it
of
sounds
eggs
like
have increased, and that sounds like a goods, hmm,
exactly
people.
because eggs used to be $3. I went to the store yesterday for a
Mm-hmm.
pack of 18. The carton of 18 is
Mm-hmm.
$8. A carton of 36 is $22. Why
Mm-hmm.
am I paying $20 for eggs?
Mm-hmm.
I go buy those chicks real quick.
Let me go buy the
Make
chicken
them grow
itself.
up. I'll wait for them to grow up. That's all right. Play with them for the
Woo.
but no, it's just crazy. Like, so don't sit there and say we're not in inflation or Biden did it or Obama did it. Trump did it too. Stop
Mm-hmm.
it. But anyways, we're gonna let's focus on the topic at hand.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, prices of goods, prices of services have gone up. So for me to buy a house, being able to save for a house is harder
Mm-hmm.
within this next year.
Mm-hmm.
It has been thus far. To
Mm-hmm.
buy a car, Lord knows.
Mm-hmm.
And even with groceries, like I'm spending $200 on myself for food.
Mm-hmm.
Myself. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
know it depends on the type of food you eat, which I do eat healthier foods, chicken,
Mm-hmm.
steak, rice, beans, and
Mm-hmm.
vegetables. Pretty much that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But and of course organic stuff. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's more expensive. But overall, why should it be? And y'all sending those people back to their country too. So imagine that price going up for the people
Right.
at the
Right.
okay.
And that's what I was reading, how our cost of fruits and vegetables are going to be more
It's gonna be
expensive
okay.
because they don't have people in the fields able to pick the crops. So there's going to
Right,
be
right.
less supply, but still the
Exactly.
demand's going to be the same. So we're going to be paying a little bit more.
For sure. Like the only thing I can see that's good so far as to what he's done with his executive
Mm-hmm.
orders is the internal revenue service exchanging to the external revenue service. So
Mm-hmm.
the taxes charging other countries rather than charging us for their goods and
Mm-hmm.
services. But other than that, the DEI really because you're gonna say merit based. So if I was looking for another job and they would go based on my merit,
Mm-hmm.
what if I couldn't afford a higher education? So that way, what if I'm really, really smart, but based on my education, it doesn't seem as if like, oh, I went to the best schools. It's like more if I went to community college, or
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford college, so I just went to high school and then tried to get a job. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know this stuff. Like I've been doing research, YouTube,
Right.
taking classes online that are free. But
Right.
you're gonna say, oh no, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, so you don't qualify. Seriously?
Right.
That's like, come on now.
Right.
So it makes no sense to me. And then mass deportation. How the mass deportation affects me and my family is a lot of us come from the islands,
Mm-hmm.
and we're a lot of us are citizens. Some of us are not natural born citizens. We have become citizens, thank God. So I can understand where they're coming from as far as the individuals that came here illegally and wanting a better life for their family and their friends. And even though it's not justified for their actions, it still affects their livelihood because what if the person that's illegal is making the bread? He's the breadwinner, she's the breadwinner of the family, and now they're gone. What is the family going to do? That's a difficult thing. Yes, they have to prepare, of course. You're always gonna have to prepare because
Mm-hmm.
you're not from here, you're not supposed to be here, essentially. But it does take a toll. So I can understand to a degree, and I won't further elaborate on it. But yeah, I think that's the main thing is just finances
Mm-hmm.
and then making sure like my kids will be okay for the future because I do plan to have kids soon and he's still gonna be in office by that time. So imagine like what they'll have to go through, especially like the child support case of,
Mm-hmm.
well, listen, I'll be married. We're not doing no divorce. We're not doing no two-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
So God's willing, we're not gonna deal with that. But there's just so much that he's doing that is affecting individuals, especially the poorer community, rather than the rich. And you know who he's for. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just sad that people decided to vote for him
See, and
on
this is
the other side of this phone.
so you're telling lies. I voted for Jill, y'all. There was 5 people on the ballot, y'all, and Jill was one of them. She should have been the
Yeah,
one to win. Let
Jill.
me talk about Jill, because Jill was a primary care physician, so she has experience in healthcare, and that's who should have really won. Because if she would have won, we would have had a much better healthcare system than the one that we have
Man,
had for the past 20 years. To be completely honest, y'all, but we don't have nobody that's a physician going in these offices. That's another thing that I think should be required. People they all want a president to have like a political background. I think the
right,
president needs to have more of a diverse background than just a political
right.
background because at the end of the day, there's no way you can really represent these people if you really there's some things like you have to really experience that thing to really know what these people are going through to be able to advocate for them the way you really can advocate for them. And there's two other things I want to touch on. I want to touch on the thing that you talk about, the external revenue services and
Mhm.
them charging other countries.
Interesting.
This is the thing about that. I agree with it in a sense, but also it's we're not going to be untouched. These companies are going to do like any corporation does, and they're going to raise the price of things because they're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
y'all charging us? Okay, then so we're going to pay for it one way or another." Like they're just going to raise the price of our goods. And then the other thing I was going to touch upon was, ooh, what was it? I almost. Oh, I was going to touch on this. Had to do with the um that we focus on all these bans that he's doing. He's deporting people, right? But my question is this, because a lot of people talk about when it comes to the mass deportation, they're worried about crime. They're worried about people coming in and
Mhm.
doing a whole bunch of bad things. But the question I have to ask is this: statistically, who shoots up schools? And how come there's nobody answering about that? I said,
Mhm.
we worry about this, but do y'all worry about your children being able to go to schools? I said, why don't y'all press your country the same exact way? Why don't you press your government the same exact way and with the same exact anger and come in the comment section the same exact way when we talk about other things? Come in here and talk about why nothing, this man ain't doing nothing to help y'all children be able to go to school and are worried about
Mhm.
getting
Mhm.
killed while they're or unalived while they're
Mhm.
there. Like, let's be honest here. That is so important. It's such a factor that just gets missed. Because
Right.
this is the thing I want to say about the Republican Party. And I am not against guns. I'm not against firearms, and I'm not against like being able to protect yourself. I said, but the question I have to ask is, we're doing all of these things. When is the executive order coming to help kids be able to go to school and not have to
Exactly.
worry about dying? And I'm gonna
Exactly.
say this: I was very involved in college, and I remember years ago when I first went to school, they didn't even have the prompt that was, "This is what happens when." And this was back in 2016. They didn't have the prompt that for new student orientation that said, "Oh, this is what you do in case of a school shooting." That didn't
Right.
exist. I said,
Nope.
but then last year I had to do a speech in front of everybody and welcoming the new students, and they played the whole video. The video was like 10 minutes long of what to do in case of those situations. I said something is terribly wrong when we can't go to college, you can't go to high school, you can't go to middle school, you can't go to elementary school without having to worry about somebody coming in there and
You
taking
know,
your
so
child's life.
you're right. Be safe.
But you have to work. But y'all are so worried about these other people that are doing things. Are all crimes we need to worry about? Yes. I said, but it doesn't seem the people to feel some type of way as strongly when it comes to those school shootings as it does with this immigration ban and then removing people and deportation and ICE coming
Right.
to do their
Right.
job. And then the other thing I want to ask is this, because we were talking about this before we got on here. How is it that ICE can now do this? If these people were so bad and it was so important for y'all to remove them, how come y'all didn't do that earlier? And this actually
Mhm.
has nothing to do with Biden. I said, what about even before Biden in Trump's first term? What about going even back further? Like, what's going on? I said, because this has to do with the department itself. Why wasn't the department operating how it's supposed to be operating? Because it's not something that Biden was doing, like telling them, no, don't go do your job. So I want to know why y'all waited till now to actually address these things. Or is
Mhm.
this just y'all political propaganda to try to pit people against each other?
Right. Because y'all actually sending them back this time and not putting them in refugee camps.
Right. It's just really sad. Like I think that overall, people have what's the word for it? It's they have selective outrage when it
Mhm.
comes to different topics, and
Right.
people bring those things up, and I'm like, at the end of the day, this man in office is going to do the things that he's going to do. He's going to push the executive orders. But I really want people, the same people that get in the comments and be like, oh, I'm so gung ho for all this and it's going to do all these things. I want y'all to answer the questions. What is this man going to do to make sure y'all kids could get to school, remain in school, get their education safely?
Safer.
What is he going to do to help people get more educated? Because there's a big thing that they don't like where, and Elon Musk even recommended this, where like they bring in highly educated people from other countries here to work in like manufacturing and different engineering jobs, and a lot of American citizens feel some type of way because they feel like that we should train people here. And I
Mhm.
said, okay, then so what are they going to do? I said, how about y'all put that fire underneath them? Keep putting that fire underneath them. Because the thing is, if people aren't safe to go to school here and y'all continue to outsource over there, that's jobs that aren't given to American citizens, right? And
Right.
then where happened to y'all that want to holler about they're taking our jobs? A lot of people are
Mhm.
opening
Taking
up.
her home.
They're opening up because they're being deported. How many of y'all are going to go work the field?
Mhm.
Y'all ready to go?
Mhm. How many of y'all gonna do construction? The real labor.
Because the truth of the
Fast.
matter is, a lot of the jobs that illegal immigrants have are manual labor jobs, the
Right.
blue collar jobs, and a lot of people don't
Right.
want to work those jobs
Mhm.
at all. So
And they
it
sure help our economy
we're like, if you go
overall.
down to the most fundamental principle of it all, if these blue collar jobs did not exist or did not have the people to exist, what would y'all do? Who's gonna build the roads? Who's gonna improve the roads? Who's gonna build housing?
Mhm.
Who's gonna pick your fruits and vegetables?
Mhm.
When the buildings that you currently work at need maintenance, who's gonna go do it?
Exactly.
There are so many
And y'all like to
facilities
talk down on them.
there's so many
Go
facilities that I've
clean.
seen that part. There are so many facilities that have cleaning
Mhm.
workers that are immigrants, Hispanic immigrants to be
Mhm.
specific. I said, and y'all want all of them to leave. Half of y'all don't wash your hands when y'all go to the bathroom. So we know
Period.
y'all not finna clean.
Period.
This y'all may call this my rant, but it's just true. Like, take a
It's true.
second to go back and just look and see what is really going to happen.
It's true.
And y'all have selective outrage for certain things. Because somebody put in the comment section that, oh, here we go complaining. If pointing out the truth is complaining, then let me complain every day.
Every day.
Every
And you
single
go
day.
sit down, whoever that was.
No, they can come back home. Come back. I want you to comment. I want you to answer my question that I asked about the school shooting thing. What y'all gonna do about that? What is the person? What are they gonna do? That's what I want y'all to
Because
answer
it's
that
people
question
like
about.
you that's been doing it.
Listen, all I know is this is the generation. I really hope people don't get complacent and they make noise and they speak to their local
Right.
congressmen. They speak to their mayors. They speak to their governors. I feel like
Exactly.
this
We got a
time.
criminal as a president.
That's
And he
another
done
thing.
pardoned the people from the Capitol riot.
Ooh, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about
That's a
that?
whole nother topic.
Listen, we can talk about it because that
Because
affects this 100 days. It does, though. Let me tell you
for
how.
us,
Yes, let me tell you how. Because there are people, those people, a lot of them literally harm cops. I said, so if you don't respect law enforcement and then they're letting you come back out to civilization with us, it's those type of people that do radical things when they don't like certain people because of the color of their skin or their political affiliations, or you just disagree with them on something and then they just want to crash out.
that's very true. That's very true.
And it's so disrespectful to the
1,500
officers.
people.
So disrespectful. You're telling me these people did their job, what they were paid to do, and you just said, oh, and then all of the videos he talked
Beat
about,
them
well,
up and somebody got killed.
and they talk about how, in all of his responses, he says, well, they served time in jail, but some people are
Oh,
no longer
wow.
here because of their actions.
Right.
So they should not have been pardoned.
Right.
Like that, somebody needs to redo what a president can pardon for. I
Right.
think I know they're not going to have any checks and balances right now because both houses of both positions in Congress, the House and the Senate, are both Republican majority right now. So
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to put a check and balance for that. But I hope after these
They
next
see.
4 years,
They see. They'll see.
correction, because that's the thing, y'all. I feel like
They're being yes men at this point.
all of them, but it's like a lot of people. When I speak to a lot of older people, right, especially at my
Come
previous
on,
job,
Nancy.
a lot of older, a lot of older people said that this America doesn't look like what they grew up in.
Right.
From the side of what presidents do, how he's conducting himself, how he's
Right.
operating. And it's like, even like, this isn't supposed to be a dictatorship,
This is not democracy, that's for sure.
but look at what it is. Like, I just think for these next 100 days, like the 100 days aren't even over yet, but I think that people.
We're in a hierarchy, if anything. He's at the top, then Congress, then Elon.
Hmm, Elon might be above Congress at this point because he just
Mm.
be up there with Trump and they be just
He's like,
having a good
he be like
time.
this. Did you see the video? Did you
I
see
did
the
not see
video?
that video.
He's like,
Where? At his
at the,
inauguration?
yes.
I'd have to go back and
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
send it to
Wait,
you.
was it when he was standing beside his son, Trump's
No,
son? Oh,
no. It was at another point. He was just like, he looked like a whole alien the way his eyes were moving.
okay. So my closing statements are just going to be that in this first 100 days,
Things have changed for sure.
things really have changed more than I thought that they were going to change. I didn't think it
Mm-hmm.
was going
Mm-hmm.
to, but I was proven wrong by this one.
Amen.
And I really hope people are looking, and I really hope it charges people to don't
Okay.
sit here and be complacent and
Right.
like, in a way, citizens, that we are giving our power away. We are giving our power to this country and we are acting like we are sitting ducks. I'm like, bother your congressman, call daily, call, send emails, send letters,
Mm-hmm.
set up protests. Like, y'all, we
Mm-hmm.
need to do something. Let our voice be heard if you care. If you don't
Amen.
care, keep doing what you're doing. And we're going to let everybody do whatever they do. I said, but we need to make our voices heard because that's the
Amen.
biggest thing. Like, his inauguration was on Martin Luther King Jr.'s
Mm-hmm.
day.
Do
Like,
that. Mm-hmm.
what does he talk about? Peaceful protests. Like, that was his whole thing. So protest peacefully, no harm, no violence, no none of that. But
But
make
still,
your voices heard that
mhm.
way. You're not sitting
Things have
ducks.
changed.
That part. What you got to say for him?
I just agree with you wholeheartedly because this world is changing for the worse. And a lot of people think it's changing for the better. And I don't know where you guys have been these past 4 years to 8 years,
Mm.
but good luck with that. We're stuck for the next 4 years and we don't know what's going to happen. It's truly, truly, truly unpredictable what this man can do, especially with Republicans in office and in Congress. Come on now. And then we got Elon. We don't know their ulterior motives. We're just going to see it. So please be prepared and remain safe out there, folks.
And just
Be
know
sitting ducks.
you can't be ignorant. Like,
Yeah.
one of these days, I think
And don't think ignorance is bliss. If y'all just sit there
between
and say, I ain't gonna watch the news.
between now and what, 2027, 2028,
Yeah.
people gonna look up And then I'll be like, wow,
Yep, so much has changed.
what did we do?
Another
What
thing.
did we really do? Because,
Yeah, it's gonna be unfortunate to be honest, the circumstances that we face in the next couple of years.
mm-hmm,
Even with my job, even with the government itself.
mm-hmm,
Like it's so much with this man. And he's getting his way, y'all. This man is getting his way. Even though it's executive orders,
mm-hmm,
he's getting his way.
mm-hmm,
Like I've known so many people saying, "Oh, mass deportation is not going to happen. Like it's impossible for a president to be able to carry out that."
mm-hmm,
Look what happened in one day. 538 people were sent back to their countries. Mexico,
mm-hmm,
Guatemala. Like, come on, you guys are literally so ignorant to so much of this stuff, and ignorance is not bliss.
mm-hmm.
Get to knowing what's going on. Watch the news. Watch social media. Get these sources, bro, from actual credible sources, and see what's happening. Because you guys don't care. If you did, you wouldn't be sitting in the comment section saying crap
Mm,
and hating
mm,
and thinking that it's false information that we're giving you.
mm-hmm.
But anyways, comment along. We'll get
But
those views and that money.
and to answer that, and I don't care how nobody feels about this, at the end of the day, when I see the comment section, there are people that engage and have like constructive, well, they say their viewpoint without having to be disrespectful. A lot of y'all that come here are disrespectful. I know y'all are broke. I know y'all are bottom of the barrel. I know that a lot of y'all have very mundane lives and you're not doing anything with it. And I know when you act like that and you operate in the same way that you have done since the 70s and the 60s, that's just how you are. And so you are okay with this country looking the way that it looks because you think it benefits you, but it actually doesn't. Because at the end of the day, you're going to stay on the same economical wavelength that you have your whole entire life and you're not elevating. So for
Mm,
you, it's not going to matter. I said, but for
mm.
people in my generation, it's going to matter.
Mhm.
Y'all don't even
Right,
care about
right.
climate change, but half of y'all are going to be dead that come in these comment section talking all that stuff because you're in your what, 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're acting dumb. And for those of you that are our age and talking this stupidity, read a book, read a textbook, go get a degree. We
That.
have degrees and working on
Amen.
another one. So
Amen.
what are you doing? So it's like, come on, y'all, stop playing with us. Like, y'all, come on here. I just don't understand. Like, I'm okay. I didn't understand. I was telling her a few minutes ago. I understand people having different opinions and views, and that's very beautiful. But when y'all come over here and y'all say stupidity, it really shows me
Stupidity
that y'all really don't understand this country
and just
because
ignorant.
you're choosing to be ignorant. And it makes no sense that you choose to be ignorant. Like, don't choose to be it. Please don't. Nobody
Right.
knows everything. But when you
Exactly.
could quickly look something up and see, okay, then this is what this person is doing. This is how this is affecting these people. This is how this
Right.
goes. Come on. Nobody expects you to know anything. And like I said,
Right.
if we come over here and we found a fact or something, but there are other sources that support something different, have no problem
Just
coming on here and saying, you know what, y'all,
you're right.
we
Mm-hmm.
found something else that actually supports something different. And
Right.
because
We have
one of the
no.
most humbling things as a person, you have to be able to accept when you were wrong. I said, but when
Amen.
we were talking about the things that we're talking about what we see. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you see, because it again, when it comes to inflation, inflation is the rate at which price for goods and services increase over time. If we can see that in January of last year, eggs cost this much, and then now January of this year, we see what eggs cost, we can see what the inflation
Inflation.
is doing. I said we can see if it continues to climb next month and the month after that and the month after that.
Right.
Like it's simple things that when I see some of these comments and make me sit here and look at y'all, I'll be like, what are y'all even talking about? Y'all can't call us stupid and then comment something that's stupid. Like that
And
don't
please,
make sense.
and please, when y'all sit there calling us stupid, and then half of y'all can't even spell, come on now.
Come on. Come
I'm like,
on.
seriously?
Come on. I walked out of university with a 98 in literature. Y'all better sit down. Don't
Period.
do that
Amen.
stupidity.
Amen.
That is the funniest thing I think though. You come here and want to say something and you can't even form a sentence properly.
Exactly.
Some of y'all
Exactly.
I just block because I don't want other people to start clowning you for your
Mm-hmm.
penmanship. But
Mm-hmm. It
at the
is
end of
what
the
it is.
day, I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful for this platform. And once again, I'll say this.
God
I
is good.
love God is all the time. And
And
all
all
the
the
time,
time.
God is good. And at the end of this day, this country is still a great country because there are a lot of people here that are great people. I
Yeah.
said, don't let whatever political party is doing whatever it's doing make you think that this country is not great. And it is great. I said, we
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of opportunities here. That's why people are
Right.
coming from a whole bunch of other countries to live here because there are so many opportunities here, things you can do here that you can't do at any other place in the world. I talked to my other friend who has family that's in other parts of the world, and they say there's a difference between being poor over there and being poor over here. Poor over here, they still have services you can use. Poor over there means you don't eat, you don't have a place to sleep, you're sleeping on the ground, you may not even have clothes. So, like, this country has so much to offer. So, y'all be grateful. This is a good season to be grateful that we are here. We're able to have these discussions because in some countries you couldn't even argue
Nope.
what's
You
wrong.
die. You
That
get
part.
killed. Go ahead
And
to
that
China.
but if we keep playing, we're gonna reach a point where we can't even have platforms like this to say our own opinion. So
Very
y'all
true.
talking about all this stuff in these comments, just look, just mark our words, turn around what 2027, 2028, and let's see what our freedoms look like.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be so different. But even then though, like you can go back to COVID 2020, 2019. Like look
Mm-hmm,
at 2020.
mm-hmm,
Look at our freedom then. They said you have curfew, 9 o'clock. If you're not in your house, you
mm-hmm,
get arrested.
mm-hmm,
You can leave the country. For many other countries where borders shut.
mm-hmm,
You don't take that vaccine,
mm-hmm.
you don't keep your job.
Right,
Control.
right,
Come on now.
right.
Doesn't matter who's in office. Control.
And even my friend
But
that
he was.
was in the military during that time talk about like when they didn't, the people who chose not to get the vaccine, some of them was discharged and other ones were treated different. It's like they isolated them, like they were on the Contagion movie and they had some
Mhm.
disease. It's like even if they didn't have anything, it's like, oh, you're not protected. So it's like all I know is this: those of y'all who are much older than we are and in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, those of y'all that I have spoken to, y'all see this country is not what it used to be. And it's changing. This used to abide by justice and liberty for all.
Right. And be mindful of your grandkids, great grandkids, your kids, not just yourself. Y'all already old
Right.
and crusty. Stop.
Y'all are going to have to leave this country to us, whether you want to or not, because all of
Exactly.
us have a time to die.
So help us.
So please make decisions that are really actually going to help the next generation and listen to the next generation. And we listen to y'all, and it's back and forth. We both come together, make a compromise, but please take that time to listen, because otherwise, at the end of the day, y'all are just going to be harming the people that you say you love. You can't sit here
Right.
and say you love your loved ones and then keep making decisions and voting in certain ways. And
Based on your own interests,
right.
but
So
not for others.
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you didn't like it. Oh well, if you do like it, tell us what you would like to hear next from us, and
Mhm.
we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.